There he is. What's up, Jake?
Hey man, how's it going?
What's up, everybody?
So first off, I want to wish everyone a happy Monday. We've had a crazy morning. We've 3x'd off the floor since market open. We got a pretty crazy spaces lined up for you today. We're dropping details about our pay to earn later. We've got Jake Paul in here joining us for a chat. We're also going to introduce you to one of our amazing advisors on Dream. Susan O. She's a governing member of the blockchain for impact at the United Nations. She's a TED Talk speaker. She runs an AI company. She's an absolute powerhouse, and we're going to introduce you to her as well. But first off, we've got the man Jake Paul in the room with us, and we're just going to talk to him about mental health. His start in crypto, and everything he's got going on in his life. So what's up, Jake? How's it going?
Good, man. Just have a busy schedule coming up here. Gonna be doing some press conferences for the Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, like mega women's fight. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, just business as usual.
Yeah, man, I'm so stoked for that fight. Man, Serrano's been absolutely killing it. Good for you for really promoting her. She deserves it. She deserves every moment of this. So I'm super excited to see her fighting Katie Taylor. It's going to be an absolute blowout.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that's what I'm most excited for is the actual fight because it's going to be a war, and I think it's going to be one of the most exciting women's fights ever.
I think it's the first time women are ever headlining the Showtime pay-per-view. Is that right?
It's the first time that they're headlining Madison Square Garden.
Right. Yeah, man, that's going to be wild. I'm super stoked for that. So yeah, let's chat a little bit about crypto. And then you had a crazy year this past year. You fucking knocked out Tyron Woodley twice. You beat him twice. You've done so much. You've started your charity. You have your venture capital fund. So we just want to pick your brain. Here at Dream, we really talk a lot about mental health in crypto, how people can visualize their goals. So talk to us a little bit about how you got your start in crypto.
Yeah, so I've been Bitcoin investor since I was like 16 years old, and have always like followed the space. And since I was young, I just like understood it. I just like wasn't didn't have enough money to keep on like investing and all this stuff. And then over the past 3 years, obviously there's been like the mainstream blow up of crypto and NFTs and all this stuff. And earlier this year, started my second venture capital fund to sort of dive deeper into the space and just be a part of any cool projects and invest into the future of like what finance looks like. So that's really how it all started. And I believe everything is becoming decentralized, and it's really awesome to see. You even see that in boxing. It's sort of out with the old promoters now, and in with the new wave of social media content creators who are going to be the biggest fighters of the future.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about rule breakers. We're all kind of figuring this out as we go. Building the future. That's something I talk about with the community all the time. Is like it's up to us to create the future of what the blockchain could be. I mean, it's in its infancy right now. DeFi. We're literally by creating things like Dream and all these other really innovative projects that are coming out. We're quite literally creating our future here. And like you say, you're doing that with boxing, right? Like no one thought that you would be headlining these Showtime pay-per-views and absolutely smashing it, selling it out. But like this is the reality we live in, and like we have the power to kind of create whatever it is that we want to create. And that's why we wanted to bring you on here, because you're a living example of that, right? Telling people tell you can't do something, you go ahead and do it. You visualize your goals and you get it done, and we love that here at Dream. That's what the community is all about.
Yeah, that's literally the key is set those goals. And I literally write my goals on pieces of paper and like hang them on my mirror, and I just like read them off to myself every single morning. You have to set goals that scare yourself and be willing to do something different, because at first people thought I was crazy and that no one believed that I was even going to make it this far. So you have to do shit that no one's ever done before if you want to stand out.
100%. So yeah, you talked a little bit about your second VC that you started, Anti Fund. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about like what's your strategy at Anti Fund? How do you go about finding the projects you want to invest in? Like, what's your kind of vision for the future there that you're trying to invest in?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's the future, like we were talking about, and 9 months ago, a year ago, for example, like when people were talking about metaverses, and there was like all these metaverse companies, and I just thought to myself, as well as my partner Jeff, like, hey, this makes a ton of sense in the real world. The real world's hard. Let's live in this fake world where you can have, it all be perfect and so on and so forth. And it was a bit risky, for us. We put into maybe 3 or 4 metaverse companies, and um, you know 9 months to a year later, obviously Facebook switches their names, and now there's been this whole metaverse boom. um, so, things that may seem outlandish, but like we trust our instincts, and we like to link with good founders who, you know, work hard and establish good teams and are passionate about what they're doing.
Right, right. Yeah, that's awesome. That's the key is finding people who really believe in what they're doing and actually have a utility, right? Or actually trying to build something. Like I said earlier, we're all kind of creating this space as we go. And we're kind of, there's a lot of bad actors out here who are copycats and trying to do this, that, and the other. But, finding people who really believe in what they're doing, that's definitely the key. Um, so yeah, like one thing that's crazy, it's like, you've done so much this past year in terms of, we talked about the Showtime pay-per-views, your charity your foundation that you have, your venture capital. One thing we talk about a lot at Dream is mental health and how to stabilize your mental health. I mean, at Dream, we have standardized trading hours that follow the New York Stock Exchange, which is twofold, right? Like one part of that is to try to offer, a bridge for traditional equity investors, people who invest in the stock market who are comfortable, with standardized trading hours to come over here, have a little bit of rule set and comfortability of what they can do. And another reason for that is to offer people, people get addicted to trading. And I know even myself, trading all the time, you have all these different coins that you're watching, you're out for dinner with somebody, you're checking your phone, to be able to have a portfolio of assets that only trade 9 to 5, that could really help some people. So I'm curious, when we're talking about mental health and kind of checking in with yourself and everything, you've done so much this year. How do you actually, check in with yourself on your mental health and keep everything in balance when you've got so much on your shoulders?
Yeah, it's a lot, and the bigger the empire gets, there's more demand and more pressure on the shoulders. But um, you know, the reward for hard work is more hard work. So it's sort of this never ending cycle, but that's what you got to fall in love with is the process. And for me, I meditate as often as possible. First thing in the morning, before I even touch my phone, I try to meditate for like 12 to 15 minutes. And so it sort of like falls in line with exactly like, what you're saying with that mental health, and like not, waking up and having to feel the need to like check everything, and, how much did ETH or BNB drop last night, um, so you have to focus on that first, and happiness is key. So I think what you guys are doing is awesome.
Jake, I'm sorry, Eddie, Zeddy, but I gotta ask a question of this
Yeah, go
guy,
ahead, man.
man. My name's Dell, man. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm also a professional boxing judge, licensed. I've been around the sport my whole life, and I've been watching you. You've dedicated yourself to this sport at a professional level, going around the world, putting yourself in the ring with the best, getting trained by the best. I've been seeing you with Sugar Shane. I've been seeing you, becoming a true professional technician of the sweet science. And I know the grind, man. I know like what you're doing to get your body in tip top shape. And I know how you got that professional approach where you don't get ready, you stay ready. And I can only imagine like how much of a grind that is mentally on a day to day. And I hear you utilizing, meditation. And I'm wondering, is there anything else that you do to keep this incredible balance with like your success and your mental health that, from me, from the outside, it seems that you have?
Yeah, I mean, a great question, and there's so many tough moments that I can think of over the past. I mean, it's been like 14 months now, but I fought 4 times in 13 months, which is like a rigorous grind that, unless you're a professional boxer, you'll never understand what it's like to go through that, especially through all like the pay-per-views and such. And so there was so many moments where, you know, I wanted to crack or let the pressure get to me, and I was questioning my own self. But what I credit that to pushing through that is surrounding yourself with amazing people and amazing team. Um, and we bring good energy every single day into our practice and into our gym, and we find ways to get motivated. Little things like I create rivalries about stupid little things in my own head, just to push myself more that day. Like I'll be going up against a sparring partner, and I'll just in my head like act like he said something to me or my family, and just like little stuff like that. Like you have to find in the details, but having good people around you and them bringing that amazing energy every single day is very key.
I love that answer, man. That makes a lot of sense to me. That sounds smart and savvy. And I would argue, Jake, that you have had it harder than any other professional fighter. That you could have cracked, and that would have been under pressures that they never faced, because many times you're in the ring and everyone was doubting you. They were calling you an amateur when in fact you had professional skill sets, and you had to go in there against these guys who had these long and cherished fighting careers and all these titles, doing all these things. And here you were, and people were only recognizing you as a YouTuber, and you had to literally not only beat the guy, but prove the world wrong. And I can only imagine what that did to your mental health. But I wonder if you, like, if you ever have any concerns for the well-being of my boy Tyron Woodley. I mean, my man has to wake up every single day with your name inked on him and the memory of you flattening him out. Are you gonna like, is there anything you're doing to help to provide any mental health counseling or services to Tyron these days?
Yeah, I've been I've been texting with him a little bit, but he seems to be taking it really well, man. And he's a good guy, and to be honest, like he got paid very well. He got paid
He's a
more
champ. Yeah, yeah.
more in that fight than he did with like a lot of his UFC fights combined. So, and he gets the game, and if you're man enough to get into the ring, you have to be man enough to deal with the repercussions of what
Amen.
may happen.
Amen, man. And that success that Tyron had in your fight is an example of what you're doing to this game. You are changing boxing, turning it inside out. You got these promoters shaking in their boots. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that for real.
Hey, what's up, Jake? It's Drew here. Thanks a lot for joining. We really appreciate it. Unreal story, and yeah, we can't thank you enough. And we're super excited and love kind of spreading our mission and aligning ourselves with like-minded individuals. And yeah, Dell, thanks for thanks for the questions. That was awesome. City, I want to give the floor back to you. I know Jake's a busy guy. He's got limited time, so we had a couple more things I think that we want to ask and
Yeah,
talk
all
about.
good. One more thing, actually, going off what Dell was talking about. I know you were talking about meditation. I noticed in the Showtime, leading up to the pay-per-view, I saw you doing a lot of breathing exercises with your team. We're actually in the Dream DApp. We're actually trying to build in different meditations, breathing exercises, different things, so we can, we don't want to be prescriptive and tell people, you have to do this, you have to do that. We want to provide them with some tools that can actually empower them to help themselves, right? So we're actually building in breathing exercises. We're working with some partners who have like amazing initiatives to bring their sort of educational tools over to our application. But I noticed you doing these breathing exercises. Is that something that you've always done? Is that something your team brought to you? And what do those breathing exercises do for you when you're leading up to such stressful situations?
Yeah, no, great question. So I was introduced to breathwork by a man named Lucas Mack, who's like a super zen, amazing guy, and he has his practice called Awaken Breathwork. And you know, he met me one day, and we were somewhere, and I'm super spiritual and like into astrology. Like that's what like I don't talk about it a lot, but a lot of people don't know that about me. But we just hit it off on like a sort of spiritual side of things, and he was like, "Yo, like I can take you through like a breath work session," and it's like a hour long guided meditation where basically you breathe so hard that your body releases natural like DMT into your own brain, and you sort of have all of these like revelations and like a calmness about you, and like you sort of face like past traumas and things like that. It's very intricate, but um, that was my first experience with breath work. And then now on a daily basis, I basically do like a smaller version, like 5, 10, 15 minute version of that. And and then going like a slower meditation, but it's super powerful. It's almost like you can't really describe it unless you've done it. But yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's really cool. I mean, we're always talking to our community, just the importance of being in touch with your body, right? In tune with, your athleticism, just, breath work like that, meditation, getting in touch with yourself is super important. And it goes back to this earlier point of what we were talking about in terms of visualizing your goals, right? What are all the things that you can do, whether it be breath work, meditation, like you said, you write down what you want to achieve on your mirror. Like, what are those little things that you can do to help visualize your goals? That's something that we really promote here with our community. So that's awesome. Yeah, we really want to get some breathing exercises up there in our application. What we're trying to do is we're trying to reward people for showing up for themselves every day, right? So we're going to integrate the token, into those tasks. So people can come on, they can show up for themselves, they can do their breathing exercises, set some goals. We'll check in with them about those goals, and we can kind of create a healthier, strong community that way. So it's awesome to hear your experience with that. Um, Something else I wanted to ask you about is, this the Boxing Bullies Foundation that you started. So what was the inspiration behind that, and what's your mission over there?
Yeah, look, I always have wanted to start a foundation. Like I've always been philanthropical. Like since I can remember, my dad would take us and we would hand out food on Thanksgiving, or go to work at a food kitchen or whatever it was. And I always just loved giving back to the community. And finally, this past year, I was in a position to be able to launch my own foundation and like hire a whole team around it and do it super properly. And I think what hit close to home for me was just bullying, because when I was younger I would like sort of be the bully, and then as I got older I realized that wasn't cool, and then I started to do things that were uh, posting content online, and people really started to judge me. And as like a 15-year-old kid or 14-year-old kid, being judged by your peers, there was like pages made fun of me, in my high school, and like they were anonymous. And so that was like my first experience with like cyberbullying. And um, that's really where the inspiration came from, was like I've been the bully, but then I also got bullied. And this like cycle needs to stop, and just raising awareness around it. And I think boxing helped give me the confidence to not care what other people think about me as much. You're always going to care a little bit no matter what anyone says, but like it really gives you that next level confidence. And so I think if we can just spread the message and get kids in the gym getting fit and working and progressing towards something, and giving them that confidence that they can fight for themselves, not necessarily physically but also for just in general. That's really what the message is about.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you hit on something super important there, which is like, finding what in your own life gives you confidence, right? For you found it in boxing. I mean, for a lot of these kids, they're going to find it in boxing, but for everyone else out there, looking for that confidence, like what is it in your life, that makes you feel good, that you can practice? What's a skill set that you can, hone yourself at in order to become better and find that confidence in your own life? I think that's a really important question, and that's really awesome. And yeah, at Dream, we have our own foundation as well. So we have a registered charity in the United States, the Dream Foundation. And our pledge is to help destigmatize conversations around mental health. Sometimes it's hard for people to talk about these issues. We really want to empower people who are suffering from this and partner with other people who have that same mission. So it's really awesome and inspiring to see all that you've achieved out there over last year and this whole journey you're on. I think I speak for a lot of us in this room who really feel like you're an inspiration to a lot of people out there, who have people wagging their fingers and saying, no, you can't do it. It's just amazing to see what you've done, and just hats off to you, man, and keep crushing it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, and I really love what you guys are doing. I'm a hit y'all up because I'm trying to throw some bread at y'all. So you guys are crushing it, and what you're doing is really going to make an impact. So I appreciate that, and the world needs stuff like that. So thank you guys for having me on the panel today.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming.
Such a pleasure to meet you, Jake. Tell your brother I want to buy his Charizard.
Okay. Will do. I'll see you, Dell. Nice to meet everybody here.
Pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, Jake. Take care. Happy to have you on the Dream Team.
City, I want to thank you as well for hosting. You're unreal running these types of convos. We appreciate you, and
man, you tell me I get to talk to Jake Paul, like the most influential person in the world this past year, aside from maybe like Elon Musk. Bro, that's what an amazing opportunity to be able to talk to him. And I really mean it, man. Day. Like his fights are on and shit, and I'd have people over my place to watch the fights, and there'd be 3 or 4 guys in the room who are like, oh, fuck this kid, who's this little asshole, think he's a boxer or whatever. And it's like, it's honestly, it floors me. It's like, bro, who are you to like look at what this guy's achieved this past year, and getting in shape that way, fighting that. Tyron Woodley's no slouch, man. That guy's a former welterweight champion of the world. And this kid's dedicating himself to a craft. Yeah, he had whatever history being on YouTube or whatever you want to think about that, right? You can love it, you can hate it, whatever. But how can you look at someone who's achieving so much, in their personal and professional lives and just hate on them and turn your head? It's like, it's kind of funny whenever I see someone shirk Jake Paul and like, oh, you're that guy, right? You're that guy who sees someone being successful and achieving their goals and their dreams, and you're just gonna hate on them. Like, all right. So yeah, it's awesome to talk to him, man. I love how he's just shutting everyone up, and every time someone hates on him, he just gets better. He gets stronger. He works on himself. And, he's, I said it from day one, man, he's the perfect partner for our community, because he's all about mental health. He's all about fitness. He's all about visualizing your goals. And, that's what we do at Dream here, man. That's what we're all about. And if we can build a community of people, who are all about, becoming the best version of themselves, and we can, make money in the progress, we can create, a series of assets to help bring DeFi forward and bring real utilities. Like, that's the real mission, man. And Jake really lives and embodies that, wholeheartedly. So, it's so awesome to be able to speak to him.
Yeah, 100%. I think, let's keep the convo going. We wanted to introduce one of our new advisors who came on board, Susan. I'm gonna try to find her here. Maybe you can give her a little introduction, City, while I look for her.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so absolutely crazy day. We had Jake Paul on, we've got, and, we have so many other people. God, we have so many advisors on the team and so many people in high places. It's like, honestly, working on this team every day is like a pinch yourself moment. It's like, holy shit, I get to work with this person or talk to this person. It's really such an amazing experience. And one of those people, that's just such an inspiration to work with is someone called Susan O. I introed her a bit earlier, but she's a governing member of the Blockchain for Impact at the United Nations General Assembly. She's advising the United Nations on blockchain and matters, which is absolutely huge. As we were talking about with Jake, DeFi and blockchain, it's a new thing, right? And the world's trying to figure out how do we navigate this, what's the best way to go about it. And Susan is one of the thought leaders in trying to bring DeFi forward and trying to explain to people, this is the potential of DeFi, right? This is the potential of what this technology can do for the world. She's also a TED Talk speaker. She's got an amazing inspirational TED Talk on YouTube after this spaces. If you want to go to YouTube and type in Susan O, you can listen to her talk about her story, what she's been through and what she's trying to bring to the world. And it's just such an inspirational talk. She also is the head of an AI company, actually forging the future of technology. She's an absolute powerhouse to have on the team. And we're really, really excited for you guys to meet her. Do we have her lined up, Drew? Is she?
I sent her a message. I don't know. A lot of people have difficulty with Twitter Spaces if it's their first time. So hopefully we'll get her up here. But yeah, she's honestly just she dove right in, and she's helping us every single day with our utility and partnerships, and extremely valuable to the team.
Yeah, man, she's absolutely amazing. The ideas that she brings to the team. So, while we're waiting for her to get on here, I'll talk to you a little bit about what she's doing for us. So, at Dream, we've revealed, if you actually go to the Dream Twitter and you scroll down a bit, you'll see a little bit of our application that we're building. Susan has a ton of experience building applications that bring utility to people's lives. And she's helping us build our app. We've talked a little bit about, I said it with Jake, we're going to have a series of daily tasks that you can complete to earn Dream tokens, which is going to be, all about your mental health, how you can visualize goals for yourself. So, on Monday you come in and there's a little box where you can type in, even if it's something small, like I want to clean out my side room, that is something that make me feel better, just a small goal. And then on 6 days later we'll come and check in with you so you can reflect, how did I do, did I achieve that goal, if I didn't, what are some things that I could do better, and just provide you with tools, where you can get familiar with some of these strategies that you can use to help yourself in your own life. So Susan is actually one of the people leading us in building this application. She's worked with different universities all around the world. She's done a ton of studies about how people interact with applications like this and how to actually augment human behavior in a positive way. So we're really stoked to have her help us building this application. There's some serious minds behind what we're building here. And Susan is one of them. So hopefully we can get her up today. I mean, if she's having trouble with Twitter Spaces, that's even, whatever, we can do a dedicated talk all about Susan. You guys can hear from her directly about that. But yeah, the other thing we have up going today is actually our pay to earn game is launching today. So leaderboards are going to be live.
Play to earn.
What's up?
Play to earn, not pay to earn.
Play to earn, yeah. Our play to earn game is going to be live today. So leaderboards are going to go up. You guys will be able to earn Dream token, and make some money there. So we have the top 10 people this week are gonna win a bunch of Dreams. So first place is going to get 25,000 Dream, which at this point, with how the chart's doing today, is it's a lot of money. And we're going to have, spots 1 through 10. We've also designed a custom bot in the Telegram. So every time a new person, gets on the leaderboard, it's going to announce that in the chat. It's going to, show their score. We'll keep the chat nice and hype and keep people earning throughout the week. And then you have to get your scores in by market open on next Monday, in order to win the prizes. So you're going to have a week to participate in the game there. We're going to drop that, right around market close tonight for you guys.
Yeah, looking forward to that. We already released a sneak peek of it, so people have been trying it out, but we're ready to go live with it. And we had it on our roadmap for, I forget the exact date, but we've beat every single date that we've put on our roadmap. There hasn't been one date that we've been late for. That's how we do things here. Kind of under promise, over deliver, beat our deadlines, keep everyone happy, and any of our community members would vouch for that. So if you're just learning about Dream now, we would love you to come on board. We have an amazing mission, amazing team, even better community, and this is going to be a top couple hundred crypto very soon.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we have a couple other speakers up here today. We have your Pop and Dell and Zach. But Dell, you're kind of newer to the community here. So why don't you introduce yourself to the people and talk about what it is that you see in Dream that you love so much.
Yeah, my name's Del Crypto. I graduated with my bachelor's in psychology. I'm currently a medical student who's very much looking forward to the possibility of pursuing a residency in psychiatry. And likewise, I have a professional career where I used to work for the world-renowned Dr. Hodges, who's the creator of the CAFAS, the Child and Adolescent Functional Assessment Scale. This is truly like one of the first advents of technology that was used as an assessment tool for youth to gauge the management of their treatment interventions. And I worked, on her staff with her before transitioning, into medical school to begin my career as a clinician. And so I'm also a professional boxing judge, and this amazing project has some great connections to boxing, and boxing is very much a close knit family. So after you guys leveraged some of the relationships that you have in the sport, things kind of trickled to me through my boxing family about what you guys were doing, that it was a crypto, that it was mental health aimed, and that was really all I needed to come looking and raising questions. And I really kind of fell in love with the project from terms of heart, soul, and ideology. And it's my honor, truly the honor of a lifetime, to serve and have a role on this project. As a consultant / advisor regarding the mental health technology revolutions that we will bring to improve access to mental health care for everyone.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we're super stoked to have you. I know a lot of people look up to your advice and your knowledge that you bring to the crypto community. So to be able to have you on board and advising us as well, just with our team of amazing advisors that we have on the project, it's really awesome. So first of all, it's actually the first time that we've spoken formally and actually been able to talk. I know I traded a couple messages in a private chat there, but it's great to meet you and
it's
properly
a pleasure,
chat with you.
man. It's a pleasure.
Looking forward to working with you more. Also, we have Zach and Your Pop on here. Your Pop, what's new in your world lately? What's up? How you been doing? Been a while since we spoke as well.
Yeah,
it really has been.
I'm doing pretty well.
What's up, Zach?
Sorry, go ahead, Pop.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go for it.
Yeah, no, for me.
Yeah, whoever wants to speak, go ahead, man.
Yeah, we'll just go at the same time, see if everybody can get us. But no, I'm just kidding. Things have been good. Obviously, right now I'm trying to manage playing hockey and also being involved in crypto, and I think everybody can agree that it's very, very addicting, and staying up late really piqued my interest, and you guys are doing a great job bringing some more people on board, and got the game coming out and everything. So I'm super bullish, and I'm like real degen in the space. Like, follow all the main Telegram influencers. They're all pumping you guys today. I see a lot of the Twitter influencers pumping you guys. So you guys definitely know what you're doing. It's good to see.
Dude, what the heck? I had no idea I was up here with Zach Boychuk. What is going on? Why are you asking me questions before this guy? Zach, Michigan boy, born and raised, and there ain't no such thing as a Michigan boy that doesn't love hockey through and through. I'm a big fan, man.
Awesome. You must be a Red Wings fan then, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. Original Six, Hockey Town. I think so.
they had a good run for a lot of years, won some cups, and I think they made the playoffs like for a record like 20 some years in a row, and now they're rebuilding, but it looks like they got a bright future.
Yep, Stevie Y is bringing the glory back.
Dal, I can't get over your intros. Every time you intro someone, it's like you always got the lines, bro. You should freestyle this. Maybe when are we gonna get the Dal Crypto mixtape, bro?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be disingenuous to say that Del Crypto does not have bars, because I absolutely do.
I know you're going for this medical career, but honestly, man, I see a bright, rap career in your future. Maybe you can be on Jake Paul's next, diss track. Del Crypto comes in there. He's dropping some bars. I think we're onto something here, bro.
Now you're talking my language.
So, your pop, what's up, man? What's new in your world? How's everything going with you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm loving this Twitter space this morning. I'm actually in California right now, visiting some
Oh, hell
in-laws.
yes.
Yeah, so
Your
just trying
Pop
to
wishes
enjoy.
they all could be California girls. What's going on, Pop? How you doing, brother?
Doing good though, doing good. It's it's honestly a pleasure being on the space this morning, and not feeling the best, unfortunately. I hope it's nothing serious, but just kind of taking it easy and trying to stay away from too much YouTube, too much internet. Although that really can't happen.
Yeah, this will be your internet for the day. So you can't miss the spaces. You come in here, you get the dream spaces, and then you go and practice breathing exercises for the next 16 hours. How about that?
Exactly, and who doesn't like hearing Del Crypto's bars in the morning, right?
Yeah, we should all actually, Dell, you got to release, fuck the mixtape, release the Dell Crypto ringtone pack, and everyone can set their alarms in the morning to Dell Crypto's bars.
Waking up to So Bullish, wouldn't that just be the worst way to start the day?
Right.
Pop, man, take care of yourself, brother. Feel better, okay? Health, it's mind, it's body, it's soul, and this 24/7 stress of crypto, it's taxing, right? And they do it on purpose, right? The system is rigged because they know you're not a machine and you have to sleep, and they set up their machines to come and ravage you while you sleep. And this is why I'm a big supporter of Dream and what they're doing, with having an open and a close and a structured market. It's the appropriate thing to do. There's a reason why every other market in the world operates that way. And regulation is coming to crypto. There's no stopping it. And I'm a firm believer that what Dream is doing will end up being implemented by regulation anyway.
Yeah, 100%, and that's something we know is coming, and a lot of people see regulation as a dirty word, right? No one wants to say regulation, and everyone gets spooked, just at the mention of it. But like, to be
Positives and
totally,
negatives.
yeah, but yeah, positives and negatives for sure. But I mean, if we want to reach the masses, I mean, there's a difference, and I try to highlight this for people, is there's a difference between regulating something and standardizing it, right? Offering, a rule set that it can operate within. Rules are good. It's not always a bad thing, right? And to have, a rule set that we can all play by, what would, football or boxing be without Dell? You're a boxing judge. What would boxing be without rules, right? It'd be a street fight, it'd be a mess, right? But you implement
Exactly,
rules on
carnage.
that. You allow people to succeed within a certain rule set, to compete with one another, to collaborate with one another. Standardization and regulation isn't always a bad thing, and we should all be, welcoming and accepting of some of these things. And Dream is trying to find, okay, what are the best things about that we can offer people that's not only good for people, but it's good for DeFi, it's good for the future of the industry, and how can we implement that in a way that's meaningful, and actually offers something to people. And I know everyone in this room and a lot of the people, in our Telegram chat, some people might be new here. If you are new here, go to the Dream Chain Twitter. You're going to find a link to our Telegram. Join the community. We're all bettering ourselves, offering great ideas, building utilities, and offering a standardized way to trade crypto. And something we really believe is that crypto's in its infancy, right? And we're trying to offer a space that's sort of different from the rest of crypto, which is 24/7 trading. If we can offer a series of premium assets that are traded and offer a different space for people to invest in, that's going to be huge for traditional equity investors who want to dip their toe in DeFi, right? But they don't want to go and trade 24 hours a day and all of a sudden they're asleep, but some asset, that really volatile asset it might dump on them during their sleep, right? A lot of people aren't used to that, right? We might be used to that because this is a space that we've been trading in. But there's a lot of people who are coming into crypto now, big money people who want a standardized rule set, right? And that's what we're offering at Dream. And that's the huge value proposition here, right? That we're going to offer an entirely separate space, right? That will be unique to us, that traditional equity investors are going to feel more comfortable in, right? And also, for us, those of us who do trade in sort of the newer space, it offers us, a space to trade that's better for our mental health, and we can offer some standardized hours there as well.
City, I hear what you're saying in regards to these traditional fiat investors that are without a doubt going to have this attraction to what Dream is doing. And what you said was point on. But I am more interested in what I believe is what we're going to see in the near future is this new narrative is going to form in regards to everyone else who's here already. Because we're being duped. We were sold this blockchain dream of crypto utilization, decentralization, and this market would be an escape from all the manipulation and everything that's going on in the other markets that allow normal people not to be successful. And we are being duped. We go to sleep every night, they turn on their bots, or they got their armies come after us. They manipulate the market when we're awake. They further manipulate it when we're asleep. They have all the data they need to tear us apart. They can use their algorithms to figure out our habits. They know when volume's coming, when it's going. They know how to time all the regions of the world. They can. We have no way to fight against them except the dream chain. And I think that soon, because people in crypto are smart. I would say they're pioneers. They're the Christopher Columbus of the IT world. They're coming in and journeying on their crypto Mayflower to the new land, right? And they're gonna and they're here and they're building it, right? And they're building this new land, and they're gonna see what's happening, and they're already starting to realize it. And I believe that soon they're going to get educated that
Yeah.
we need to do better. The dream
Yeah.
chain.
Yeah, 100%. And if for those of you who aren't familiar with our roadmap, you can find our roadmap on the Dream Chain Twitter, where we kind of detail everything we're doing all the way up until June, right? And it's all, as like the Dream logo, it's all a spiral going straight to the center. And what's happening right at the center, it's the Dream Chain, right? And you'll notice that in our name. So we got to start small before we grow big. So we're starting as a token, right? But ultimately we're looking to be a layer 2 solution, and be our own chain, right? So if you look at our roadmap this month in February, this is the month of the DApp, right? We're releasing our DApp. We're releasing staking on there so you can get your token staked. You can be earning passive income. We're going to be releasing the art house to empower different artists, to use our platform, to give those NFTs back to the community and our loyal holders. We're also going to have the DAO where you'll be able to vote on, the way that we're running things and what you want to see in Dream. In March, we have the Dream Pad coming up, which is personally, where I see so much potential in this to be able to empower other developers, who have like-minded missions, right? To do better, to build the future of DeFi. We want to help empower those developers to launch. And if they want to utilize our protocol and having standardized 9 to 5 trading hours, we can provide that to them. We can shepherd them through that. And then we can launch those through our pad, right? And when we launch those through our pad, you guys, as the Dream community, are going to have early access to all those launches, right? We talked about our loyalty program. So those who buy Dream and hold Dream are going to have early access to all these projects, right? So that's where there's insane value in being a member of the Dream team. Is we're offering you, ground level at all these interesting projects that are coming up, that are launching through the Dream pad and that are utilizing our protocol. Another thing I want to highlight, so we went through February, we went through March. Over in April, we're releasing our global time zone collection. So we've had a ton of people in the community who are from, Asia, for example, and they're like, well, these trading hours don't work for me, right? This is the opposite schedule. Now you're open when I'm sleeping, and you're closed when I'm awake. Well, we're gonna don't worry, we have to start somewhere, right? We don't want to make anyone feel left out, and we know that there's a huge demand for these other time zones, and we're gonna get that to you, right? So the time zone collection will be launched. We'll be expanding across the world to offer these people the same protocol, right? Standardized, audited, really perfected protocol in order to offer these standardized trading hours. We're going to bring them around the world, right? And who's going to get ground floor access on all these? The Dream community, right? Those of you who are loyal holders, we see you in the chat every day. We see you in the Telegram, and those of you who are our most loyal holders, and the whole community is going to get ground floor on this. So we're super excited. We're also going to have our first charity event coming up in April, which we're super stoked about. I mean, we've talked about, I really like to think about Dream in two different ways, right? We have the token, right? And we have the pad, and we have that whole mission there to provide maximum value to our investors, to provide utility to our investors. But besides that, we have the foundation, right, which has its own missions, and it goes back to what Jake was saying with Boxing Bullies, right? Is he really wants to make a difference in the world, right? He's looked at what he's done in his past, and he's reflected, gone forward into the future and said, what can I do differently to be better, right, and to give back. So I guess in our own way at Dream, the foundation is our way of giving back, right, and channeling all this amazing energy that we have as a community, and bringing that forward to the future and saying, what can we give back? How can we really make a difference? Making sure that we're empowering people in their own lives, and really trying to make a difference in this space. So hopefully that gives you, a little bit of an overview of what we're doing here at Dream, why we think there's an insane value proposition here, and why we think we are legitimately have the potential to be a top 100 crypto. Because we're not just a token, we're not just a coin. This is a legitimate project with advisors who are advising us, who are on the goddamn United Nations Blockchain Council, with people like Crxpto, amazing minds, with people like Jake Paul, like Mike Tyson, advising us, who believe in the project. And we're really trying to build a future here. And we're super stoked to have everyone, all you guys be a part of it. So if you're not already a member of the Dream team, if you're not already, following the Twitter, in the Telegram chat, everything, get in here. We're happy to have you. We're still, we haven't been live for that long. We're still in our infancy, and this is ground floor compared to where we're going. So, first of all, welcome to all of you who are newer here. We're happy to have you, and it's going to be a wild ride.
Hey, City, I wanted to just throw something in here for everybody to hear. First of all, how are you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. The bigger thing I saw with this is, the other day I had a conversation, and mental health for me it's affected me in personal ways, and I lost my father, and there's been a lot in my life that has been affected by mental health. And I had a conversation, and out of nowhere, somebody from the Dream team actually had reached out and like, hey, have you checked this out? And I'm like, no, I haven't. So I took a peek at it. I just wanted to personally thank you guys for actually doing something about it, because I feel like it's overlooked. Everybody wants to do all these different things, but they forget the mindset is everything. And if you look at my platform and what I talk about, it's always the mindset. I'm always posting motivational stuff and things like that, because I want people to realize that you can do better just by thinking better. And you guys you're taking the initiative. So actually the other day I decided to invest into the Dream Chain. I bought in. I bought in because, one, you guys are doing incredible things. Two, it's clear that you guys have really put a lot of effort and work into it. And three, your contract looks pretty damn clean. So I'm very excited about what's to come in the future. And I do plan on speaking about this more in the future as well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we're happy to have you. Like we only get stronger the more people come on board, and yeah, I love the way you're thinking. I love the fact that you're trying to help people in their own lives. In talking about mindset. That's huge. That's been huge for me in my own life. I actually earlier in my life I did struggle with mindset a little bit. I like most people. You doubt yourself. You don't know what's the right path for you. You have all these questions. And I struggled with that for a long time, and it's really been the past few years of my life that I've really gotten things together, and mindset's been key in that, man. Mindset and like Jake was talking about, like being conscious and aware of your body, like these breathing exercise and these meditations. Honestly, you would have told this to me 5-10 years ago, I probably would have laughed, and I would have said, oh, what is this? I probably would have laughed, but all these cliches that you hear when you're growing up, like working hard and taking care of yourself and meditation and stuff like that, like they're around for a reason. These ideas have been around for centuries, and even longer than that, millennia, because for a reason, because they work, right? And because they matter. It matters taking care of yourself, right? And I think we kind of shrug that off sometimes, and it really really matters. So making sure that your mindset is right, and just what Jake said, right? He visualizes his goals, right? He just writes it on the mirror. It's such a simple thing to do, and start small. You don't have to say, I want to change the world, or I want to, when Lambo, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini tomorrow. Like, set realistic goals for yourself. And then visualize that and say, how do I actually achieve that, right? Work backwards. Say, okay, this is what I want. What are all the steps that I need to actually get there? So yeah, man, I love what you're doing over there, talking about mindset. This is a new space that we're all in, and making sure that everyone's got their mind right is amazing. So I appreciate you and what you're doing, and we're happy to have you as a member of the team.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And I'm excited as well. And yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's not about when Lambo. It's not about any of that stuff. You can actually devise a market cap plan, and everybody knows with a low market cap projects, and as they grow, I see Dream having a great future. But as they grow, the biggest thing I look at is trade at market cap. Don't just trade on price. So, and don't sell it all in one shot. You don't want to hurt anybody else that's coming in around that same time. So like I devise, sale plans like, okay, at this market cap, I'll take this out. I'll spread it across 7 days so I don't hurt anybody. Because the last thing I want to do is hurt a new investor coming in that, believes in the project as well. So, keep those things in mind as well, because this is a low market cap project that has a huge, realistically, there is 1,000x% potential at the current market cap price. So, and with the people you guys have on board and are bringing on board, and just more people are standing behind it. That mental health thing, so many people struggle with it, even if they don't talk about it.
Right. Yeah, 100%. And that's one of the things too, is helping destigmatize actually talking about these things, because that's the first step, just being able to talk about it, or even knowing where to start talking about it, right? So first, in order to start talking about it, you need to be, aware of the things that are maybe holding you back. What are some strategies that you can even use? Some people don't, we take it for granted, some people who have people in their lives, talking to them about this and offering them good guidance, but like, we don't take into account that there's a lot of people out there who actually don't have anyone who talks about these things in their life, right? So for those of us who do, we sometimes can take that for granted, but there's a lot of people out there who don't have that, right? And that's where we come in, right? And that's where we hope to be spreading these ideas, and some people may find it silly or whatever. They're like, oh, I've been told that since I was a kid. Well, some people weren't, right? Some people really need these basic skills and need to talk about this stuff. And so that's where we want to just, destigmatize the idea of talking about mental health, even provide spaces for you guys to talk to each other. Within the Dream Telegram, in the community, we've had some amazing chats with people who are part of our community, just talking about their own life experiences and what they're going through. The other day, we had a young woman who was suffering from being addicted to trading, and she couldn't sleep. She was up all night. She was getting insomnia, and she just couldn't put it down. And she was saying, how this something like this really has the potential to help people like her, who are suffering from this. And it's a real thing, man. It is addictive, especially in this day and age where technology is encroaching more and more on our lives, when the quote unquote metaverse is becoming like the new sort of thing where we all might live. We're spending more than half of our lives, some of us, in the, quote unquote metaverse, or the digital space, or whatever you want to call it. So to be able to know when to check out and to take care of yourself, that's a real skill, that we have to develop, because these companies are they're buying and selling our attention, and they're really fucking good at it, like they literally have algorithms that find out what we like, and they feed us more of it. And granted, it's not all bad. Like, social media and the internet is great, right? It allows us the free exchange of ideas, the free exchange of thoughts. It allows us to talk to one another, to connect to our family members who are maybe across the world. So it's a beautiful thing if it's used responsibly, right? But we got to figure out, how do we responsibly use this together? Same thing with crypto, man. Like, this is a beautiful technology, right? We're at the precipice of a world changing technology. And how do we use that responsibly? How do we trade responsibly? We at Dream think we have a solution to that, but it's a matter of figuring that out together. And that's why we're happy to build this community, to get all your guys' ideas, your thoughts. How are you feeling? What's going on in your lives? Hop in the Telegram, talk to us, tell us what you see in the project, what you like. We're open to criticism. We don't ban anybody for quote unquote FUD. Like, if there's something that you see that you think could be improved upon, hop in and let's have a free exchange of ideas about that. Nothing gets better without critical critical oversight and really thinking about these things. So yeah, we're just so excited to have such great exposure through people like Jake and Mike Tyson and all these people who are on board, just to kind of get more people on the team. And that's more ideas, that's more power, and we're only gonna grow from here. It's just super exciting to be a part of this.
Also, we mentioned this before, but we do have the same, similar to what Jake did, where he comes on. I mean, it's these people, like, they really resonate with what we're doing, and they're all big mental health advocates themselves. But we have Tyson Fury, hopefully next week, joining us for something similar than what Jake did, and it's just amazing to let people hear their stories and come up and tell their own. So we're gonna keep doing this. We'll try to do it every single week, and it's just a coincidence that we have the three biggest boxers in the world right now. We're not exclusively going after boxers. We have a lot more guests lined up who are from all different sports and influential in their own ways. But yeah, it's something that we feel is really important to keep up these spaces, educate on Dream, educate on mental health, and let people tell their stories.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of funny how it's funny. We didn't necessarily plan for it to be, the three biggest boxers in the world who are promoting us. It kind of just happened. It happened naturally. And, it's funny when you think about these boxers and what they do in their lives. They're literally, fighting. They're prize fighters, right? And the mindset that you have to be in order to step into a ring against someone else, to get your body and your mind in the right place. That's something that, that I've always looked up to, throughout my whole life. I remember I used to watch boxing with my dad when I was growing up. And he was so passionate about it, and watching these guys, what they do, and even watching Jake and Mike actually in the later stages of his career. Now he's mounting a comeback, and he's fighting other boxers, which is super amazing to see, right? What's his mindset like when he's doing this in his later stages of life? They're just such inspirational people, right? And they're kind of they're kind of something to look up to, in terms of when we talk about getting our mind and our body right and focusing and visualizing our goals and stuff. These are the kind of people that we want to partner with, right? People who are going out there and really doing it and really putting their words, their actions behind their words. They're just such inspirational people. But like Drew said, it's we're not exclusively going after boxers. This all just happened, because they were a right fit for us. But we have, plenty of other people who are going to come on who are similarly successful in their own careers, who we think have something to offer to the community. We're going to continue to bring these people on board the team. We're going to continue to bring them to you to talk about what they're doing and keep growing from here.
You guys, it was such a pleasure being on this space today. I'm sorry that I have to head out to a meeting, but I I can't wait to do this again, to do this more often. City, it was a pleasure meeting you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Likewise, and just we need a release date, Dell. We need a release date for the mixtape. I mean, I'm over here waiting. You know, I got my money. I'm trying to pre-order this thing, but like, I know the dream team's waiting on the mixtape. So whenever
Yo,
we can get a
let me see
release
what
date,
I
let me
can
know.
put together. Maybe I can dust off my turntables, stack up everything, and maybe I'll put a little mix out on the Twitter here.
Yeah,
Let's make the mixtape only available for purchase with Dream.
it'll be
I love it. I
NFTs.
love it.
NFTs launched through the DreamPad audio NFTs. We actually do have a composer and like someone who does mixtapes and music, who's doing all the music for our game. You guys are going to hear later when we launch it. So actually, this isn't an impossible goal. We might be able to launch
So it is
the
written,
Dell
so it
Crypto
shall be
mixtape right
done.
here.
Sign me up. I'm in for it. I got a lot of ideas. I'd love to do it. I'll start writing.
Hell yeah, man! It's it. Yeah, but likewise, right back at you. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and really looking forward to working together in the future.
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. And you guys have a wonderful day. Live bullish.
You too, man. Take care. Awesome. So yeah, so let's refocus on what else we've got coming up today. So right before market close, for those of you who don't know, actually, you know, we operate on the same hours of the New York Stock Exchange. You know, so we have open and closed markets, unlike other cryptos out there who just run 24/7. So right before market close, we're going to be dropping our pay to earn game, play to earn game, which is gonna have a leaderboard function where you guys are gonna be able to battle it out to get the top of the leaderboards to earn a bunch of tokens. Come next Monday. So you have exactly 1 week. To get playing the game, to practice, to get your scores. We're going to have a bot in the Telegram that's actually live feeding in the leaderboard and shouting out high scores. So you guys can battle with each other in there. It's going to be super fun. But we're going to drop that later today. So make sure you're in the Telegram and you're keeping up with that. I
I
actually
wanna
see.
I want to talk for 1 second just about the game and where it fits into the Dream ecosystem. So by
Yeah,
no means is this a gaming token. I mean, we kind of delivered the game. So there's a few reasons why we did the game. First of all, we wanted to kind of prove our development power and how serious the team is, and that we could release a game within our first couple weeks that's on par with or better than actual gaming tokens. That their main focus was important for us. We also really went the extra mile in bringing in a composer to put like very relaxing music. The whole theme of the game fits with the Dream brand. The idea is kind of to help you relax, put you to sleep, and also earn tokens while you're doing it. All on the theme of like relaxing after trading hours, sleep easy with Dream, play for a few minutes before bed, earn some tokens, help put you to sleep with the music. So that was really the idea there. It's a very small part of what we're trying to do here. The bigger goal is actually building out the chain and launchpad, which we're already making a lot of progress on. But the game fits right into our DApp, and that will be released shortly, along with the staking, which a lot of our community members are looking forward to, where you'll actually be able to stake your tokens and earn more Dream while you sleep just for holding and staking.
Yeah, 100%. That's a really important point. Like, we don't want people to think that we're a gaming token. That's not what this is about. You guys have heard what our mission is. We have much larger goals. We have much bigger things coming. It's kind of funny. Some other tokens and projects, like their game is their thing, right? Like they're just launching a game, and that's what everyone's waiting for. We built this game, and we're just launching it as a side thing for you guys to earn some tokens. Have a good time with. We put a lot of effort into it. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We had an original composer and sound designer doing all the music. We had amazing game developer who was a pleasure to work with. Our UI designers and artists were amazing. So we're super excited to get that out for you. But yeah, like Drew said, by no means is that kind of our our bread and butter. That's just something for you guys to have fun with, earn some tokens, play outside of trading hours, and sort of get more involved with the community and have a good time with one another in the chat. Like, we're talking about mental health. One thing that's really important there is the concept of play, right? Being able to play with one another, sharing an experience together, building a community. And we really see the game as being like one of the pillars that we're building on top of, which is just being able to play with one another, have a good time, climb the leaderboards, chat with one another, and have sort of a shared experience. So So yeah, that's just one of the many things that we're going to bring to you, and we're super excited to have that drop later. So just so you know, later is going to be the leaderboard functionality. So you'll be able to climb the leaderboards, and at the end of the week, we're going to be dropping Dream to the top 10 scores. But the leaderboard functionality is just the first. After that, we're going to be allowing anyone to just play, earn tokens, and claim those tokens. So that's kind of what's coming up next. So this week's just going to be a leaderboard challenge. Get everyone familiar with the game, practicing it, battling it out in the leaderboards, and then we're actually going to have the earnable tokens that you can just sort of play to earn and just earn tokens over time and claim them. So that's going to be added later. But yeah, look forward to the leaderboard functionality later today. We're super excited to drop that on you guys.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. I think it'll just really fits with the theme, and it'll keep our Telegram more active during off hours, more stuff to do. That's, we have a great community, very tight knit in there, a lot of positivity, and obviously during trading hours, it's all about bringing in buys and growing together, getting our stuff done. But we really want a place for our holders to kind of relax and talk about other stuff in off hours, because that's healthy.
Yeah, 100%. So do you want me to wrap it up, Drew? Do you want to do a final sort of big thing here, or do we want to open it up?
Yeah, if anyone wants to speak, you're welcome to come up and talk. I guess just final takeaways for us. Yeah, DAP, a lot more of it will be released this week. The Play to Earn game comes tonight. It'll be live. Hopefully next week we'll have Tyson Fury on for a space, which he's a huge mental health advocate, also extremely prominent. And
oh, look, we got Susan's here. We got Susan. Awesome. Just in time, Susan. We were about to wrap it up, but you can come and make your surprise appearance at the end here. So everyone, just so you know, this is who I was introducing earlier. Like I said, we have an amazing sort of board of advisors on the project, really powerful people making a difference, in DeFi and in crypto and in, different places of technology, and really sort of like forging the future that we're all building towards. Earlier, we talked about how we're really quite literally building our own future. And Susan is an absolute powerhouse who's really doing her part in helping build a better future. So I'll let her kind of speak here and introduce her to you guys. Hey, Susan.
Hi guys, sorry I'm late. I'm supposed to be on a Zoom panel, and they messed up the time zone math, and then that screwed me up. How's it all going?
It's been amazing. We had Jake on here earlier talking about how he visualizes his goals. We actually I noticed in some of his boxing preparation and some of the videos online, he was doing these really intense breathing exercises. So I had him kind of illuminate a little bit, about what that was and how he came across that and how it really helps him in his life, which was super cool for the community to hear. It's been an amazing spaces so far. I think everyone's really learned a lot. But yeah, why don't you introduce yourself to the people and let them know what it is that you're doing with Dream, and we can get them acquainted with you.
Oh, great. Thanks, Sid. My name is Susan O. I was a business journalist for 25 years. I started when I was 16, thinking that it was a pillar of democracy. And then from that, I started writing about technology in 2012, and then was enlisted by my first AI company in Silicon Valley in 2014 in NLU NLP to work on story strategy and community growth. And then just took a group of different escalating roles in AI companies, going to San Francisco from New York, once a month for the next 4 years. And then one of my startup teams that had failed to raise to growth at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, asked me to be their CEO. So then I started the process of learning how to do that. And how to build my own training corpus. And then in the women's bathroom at Web Summit in Austin, I met this girl in the women's bathroom, and she asked me what I was doing. And I said, oh, I have an AI-based startup. She's like, great, I want a chatbot. And I was like, what do you do? She's like, I've got a Bitcoin starter kit. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. And we ended up hanging out for the full day, and she said, we should really work together. And I was like, I'm good. I don't really want anything to do with this Bitcoin stuff, but why don't I run you through a business model canvas and help you write start you actually on a template to write your business plan, and we'll go from there. And I spent 8 hours with her and another woman, and we just, sort of like hung out and ate and whiteboarded. And she was nice enough to list me as a co-founder, and that was my beginning of blockchain. So she kept sending me a bunch of links and things to look at. And for 3 months, I just looked at YouTube videos at 2x and read everything that I could. And then when like 3 months later, at some point, I sat up in bed and said, "Holy shit! I can crowdsource my training corpus for my AI." And that was 5 years ago, right? The whole rabbit hole thing. And so, yeah, it's been really interesting last 5 years, and I'm so thrilled and happy. Actually, it was my friend Bruce Silkoff, who is also an advisor, that I met at the UN during one of our global summits, and through our friend Dr. Jane Thomason, who's another blockchain advocate and a philanthropist. She started a consultancy for healthcare and blockchain-based solutions for working with the Australian government, that was basically doing $300 million in revenue a year. And then she 5x'd it for the new owners, and then stepped off to do philanthropy. And through our global summits, because I also helped launch a nonprofit that was incubated with the support of the Office of Partnerships at the UN General Assembly. And so Bruce said, "Hey, I'm working on this thing," and he showed me Dream, and I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." Hi, Bruce. I know you're here somewhere. Wow, this looks really cool. Because if it's one thing, the last bastion, I think, of bigotry and misconceptions that were allowed, and even in joking and jest, is people who are crazy, right? Mental illness, and it's a topic that's close to my heart, with immediate members of my family who had suffered a great deal. So, being in AI, I'm always very conscious of how we learn, how we perceive, and what baseline, how we define something as health and wellness. So this was just a really beautiful project that tied in a lot of topics that were close to my heart.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I was super excited to have the community meet you, because, in the team, we're so excited to have you be a part of it. And the one thing I find so amazing about your journey into crypto is just like, it kind of highlights this kind of universal thing of, you never know where life is going to take you. The most random, almost, seemingly insignificant moments can actually drastically change the course of your life, just by being in the right place at the right time, and having that little conversation with someone who can, actually lead you down a totally separate path than you thought you'd ever go down, which is something, we really try to highlight here, and we try to create. It's something I try to do in my own life too, is kind of something I tell myself, is to put myself in a position where I have the maximum amount of doors that could possibly open be there, So just put myself in a position, and sometimes I don't know what's going to happen, but, being in this room or that room or walking down this path might lead me someplace completely different. So always, just keeping my options open, and being in the right place at the right time. And I think that's something that's so cool about your story, is it was just this tiny interaction you had in the women's bathroom that actually ended up leading you down this totally crazy path, and sort of changing your life, which is, I think, so amazing, and kind of highlights some of the absurdity of life in some ways, in a really beautiful and interesting way. So thanks for sharing that story. That's so cool. So yeah, so Susan, why don't you talk a little bit about, how you're advising the Dream team, and what you're working on with Dream with us.
Oh, well, I just joined, let's see, in the last week. And so I typically, in the last 5 years, with advising. And I only started advising because every solution that I found in towards building my own startup didn't do squat for me, but apparently other people found it useful, which then, helped launch the nonprofit Blockchain Commission for Sustainable Development. So, with you guys, I just love how active you are and how supportive you are of each other. It's The culture is amazing. A lot of really smart, accomplished people, not just digitally, but in the real world and across different verticals. And I love the amount of collaboration. I'm just hoping to come in and sort of tie things in into your narrative, as well as make tie-ins to how people use the app, their behavior digitally, to the effects also in the real world. Because I come from a journalism and marketing and advertising background, I'm very conscious of how much narrative and content can open hearts. And before we can start to teach people about self-soothing and self-management and mental health or any of that information, first we have to open hearts and let people see what they might not have seen or even experienced before, right? We call it mental health, but I call it joy and bliss. That moment, when you take that first bite of an apple, or you look at the face of a loved one, or, just when you know that you've been working really hard for something and it just, in that moment, everything clicks and becomes super clear. And I want everybody to be able to wake up every day a little bit excited and a little bit scared, right? Every day. And so what does that look like visually? And what does that look like in terms of an app? How do we get people there? And so that's some of the stuff that I've really been enjoying having discussions with the team about.
Yeah, you've been really invaluable in offering advice and how we build out our application, and it's no small task to offer people a tool that sort of empowers them to think about their mental health or their well-being, or to do these exercises. Something we're very cognizant of in the team is we don't want to be super prescriptive to people and wagging our finger and telling them you need to do this or that, but more so just providing them with a tool set where they feel empowered to actually use these tools, and they're interesting. And that's no small task to sort of position that in a way where people really want to use it and they really feel like they're getting something back from this. And we're so excited to actually release the sort of the version 1 of this sort of the app, the utility that we're building into our app, and have you guys test it out. And we do, I know this is a cliche, people say it all the time, but we really do want to hear your feedback. We want to hear what's working for you, most importantly what's not working for you. What do you think is extraneous? What do you think is really useful? So that as we reach mass market and as we continue to grow, which we very clearly are, we can have this tool in really sort of in its most perfect it can be, right, as we release it to a more mass market. So we're really excited to show you guys what we're building over there. Susan's been offering amazing advice. And one of the things she just talked about there is, she comes from a journalism background, and I know she's done some film work as well. And she's really talking to us about the importance of storytelling, right? And we think of story as, a 3-act structure, and we're being walked through a plot, but it's actually, it's deeper than that, right? Sometimes you tell little stories just by your small actions that you do every day. And Susan's really helping us think about storytelling as we release the app and as we release these utilities, and sort of making sure that there's a story behind everything we do. That's something that's been passed down since the early start of human history, right? Storytelling is deep within us. It's something that's very intrinsic in what we are and who we are, and really tying that into what we're doing here at Dream is so important to us, and something that we're really trying to do. But yeah, it's awesome to have you on here, Susan. I was so stoked for the community to actually hear from you and listen to your ideas and the way you think, because I think it's so innovative and interesting. I actually when we were talking to Jake earlier, we were talking about mindset and wellness and all that. And I had actually listened to your TED talk that you did on YouTube, which I think is a super inspirational talk. And I love a lot of the ideas that you talk about there. And I actually encourage people to go and listen to that talk, because I think they can find a lot of inspiration in their own ways listening to you speak at that talk.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That's so kind. You know what? I don't think my mother's seen it. But the thing is, about seeing things that aren't there yet, but what could be is so important, right? What if, there's always that hidden gem of a person that maybe wasn't born into the best family, doesn't have the best genetics, grew up in a rough neighborhood, or maybe you grew up in a perfect neighborhood, but everyone was completely emotionally shut down. Um, how do you know when you've never experienced something, right? You can only do it through storytelling, because what we see, our subconscious doesn't recognize the difference between what we see and what we experience. And so that's where the visioning and the storytelling is just so important. I mean, there's a reason why the greatest enduring historic text throughout uh, thousands of years has always been through poetry and allegory and storytelling, um, because fiction doesn't let facts get in the way of the crux of the story, right? And what is the greatest story in the world? Um, it's not the Bible, as Christians say it is. The greatest story in the world are love stories. And the only better story that I think I really want people to hear is the only thing that's greater than a love story is the story of redemption, is the story of coming back, because we all fail, and that's okay.
Right, 100%. And it's something, I've worked in film in my own life, and something we talk about, like you say, is there's these archetypes that are just they're through and through. They're part of storytelling, and moreover, they're part of us, right? They're part of our species, and they're part of life in general. And these archetypes, like the coming of age story, or the comeback story, or the love story, right? These are different ways of communicating ideas to one another, right? Communicating experiences, communicating ideas, and really sort of speaking to each other in a very deep way. And like Susan says, poetry is something that's survived the ages, right? And is super fundamental to how we've communicated to each other throughout history about really complex ideas, but in an artful way. And it's no small task to try to approach storytelling, through the lens of DeFi and crypto and utility and these technologies, and really trying to distill that in a way where we can offer utility to people's lives, but use storytelling to do so in ways that you might not have thought of before. So this is what I love about Susan. She brings these ideas to the table that just show such a unique perspective of looking at these problems, right? People think in such a literal sense about these things, but being able to think about them in a multifaceted way from all angles, I think is super cool. And that's the kind of team that we're trying to build with Dream, right? We're trying to build a team of unique, interesting perspectives, people who have been accomplished and successful in their own careers, but also have a different way of looking at the world, and sort of have something that offers a lot of knowledge and insight to the team, but moreover offers knowledge and insight to you as the community. Because we may have a smaller team who's building this project, but we have a much larger team who's carrying it forward and who's part of the overall mission here, which is you guys, right? All of you who are in this room right now, all of you who are in the Telegram, who are following us on Twitter, we're really trying to create a movement here, and build it from the ground up. And it's super exciting to be able to share all of this with you. It's awesome.
That's so
Awesome.
great. And also useful things, right?
Right.
Anybody that logs on and taps in, or it kind of like aligns with the ethos of blockchain, right? And so whoever so chooses to adapt and learn, and participate, contribute, should be able to hold some of that value in their hand. And what you can imagine, you can hold in your hand.
Yeah, 100%. Well, awesome. This Spaces has been going on for about an hour and a half now. We don't want to make it too long because we want to, record this and get it up for people on YouTube and all our socials and stuff. And we don't want them to see, a 6 hour audio clip and just kind of shrug it off. We want it to be, small enough that people can digest this and really, really think about the ideas that we've brought forth today. So yeah, Drew, did you have any closing thoughts, or any of our other speakers? Actually, a lot of you have been great this morning. So if you have any closing thoughts, feel free.
And no, I just want to thank everyone. I hope people can recognize what we're trying to do here and the dialogue, and that it's a really serious project with huge goals, and I think we're going to get there for sure based on the support we've had, and we've already proven that we deliver and there's no nonsense here. So yeah, we would love everyone to come along for our mission, join the community, and we can't thank everyone enough for the support. So we'll continue to do this every single week. We'll host at least one space like this, and thank you, Susan, Cryptobolic, Zach, everyone.
Awesome, Zach. Cryptobolics. If you have any closing thoughts, feel free to share them with the community.
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to tell you all that, no matter what, we're all invested in crypto, and that makes us all a part of a community. And, if somebody reaches out to you for help, give them that helping hand. And if you don't have those answers, send them to somebody that does. We're all in this together. We're all going to grow together. This year's going to be incredible. And I'm just so happy I'm here with everybody in here today. And I'm actually pretty damn happy I invested into this project, because you guys are doing something big for something that really hits home for me. And then shout out to Zach. Dude, you had an awesome season.
Thanks, man. Oh yeah, I agree. All about positive vibes out here. Love the vibes you guys bring, and appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I can't thank enough all of our speakers who came up here today. Thank you, Susan, Zach, Cryptobolics. We appreciate you guys so much, and we appreciate the varying sort of opinions and everything you have to offer. And thanks everyone in the community for being here and actually showing up. We see all of you. We appreciate all of you, especially all the people who are in the Telegram community and constantly communicating with us and bringing thoughts and ideas our way. We're building something here that's organic, and it's really amazing to watch everyone become a part of this in such an integral way. I've even met so many people through the Dream community that are just offering me so much in my own life. So just want to give a big shout out to everyone in the room today for showing up. Showing up for yourselves, showing up for the community, and being part of the overall mission here. So just later today, just to focus back on what's coming up, we're going to be dropping the play to earn game today. The leaderboard functionality is going to be live. We have a custom bot that's going to be shouting out everyone's high scores. You guys will be able to compete with one another, collaborate with one another, and that should be really fun, because we really feel that play is important as well. We can talk about these ideas and we can get really deep and think about them, but just to be able to play with one another, that's a super important part of being healthy as well. So we're going to give you that later. We have so much more coming up this week, but we have so much, in our backlog of what we're trying to release and trying to bring to you guys. We're really trying to piecemeal it out to try to do it strategically. So we have that coming up later. I want you to think about this month as the month of the DApp, right? We're releasing the DApp. We're releasing different utilities there. We're going to have you guys trying things out. After that, next month is the month of the pad, where we're going to be trying to empower other developers to bring their ideas forward using the Dream protocol. After that, we're going to be expanding through the global time zone collection. So have a look at the roadmap, check out what we're doing, and you can kind of see the vision behind this. You can find the roadmap right on our Twitter page, or, after this call, I'll post it again in the Telegram. If you like what you heard today, hop in the Telegram. We're happy to chat with you and exchange thoughts and ideas and have you be a member of the Dream team. So thanks everyone for showing up. We appreciate you so much, and happy to keep this moving forward. So take care, guys. Have a good day. And a call to action for today, like we talked about with Jake, right? Jake said every day, he wakes up and he writes something on his mirror. What is the one thing that he wants to accomplish today, right? Could be something small, could be something big, but what's something in your own lives that you really want to accomplish, right? Write that down. check in with yourself at the end of the day or the end of the week and, ask yourself, did I complete this goal? Did I show up for myself? If you didn't, that's okay. What can you do better next time to make sure that you showed up for yourself? So everyone in the community, just write something down. It's a physical manifestation of the goals that you want to achieve. Write it down, and do everything you can to achieve that goal. And slowly those goals will become bigger and bigger. And, the sky's the limit for every single person in this room. So thanks so much for showing up. And, we'll be here next week with another Spaces with you guys. Take care.